guys? Welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Forgive me, I've got a mug of salty tears here, and so delicious. Oh, it hits so good. Salty but refreshing, surprisingly. This from a young gal. What do you mean we have to work forever? The Gen Z and the very youngest millennials, and well, actually some of the millennials as well, are starting to discover that feminism isn't what it cracked out to be. And they all of a sudden they discover, wait, without a man, I need to be strong and independent and pay back these hundreds of thousands of lesbian dance theory school loans, and I'm going to have to do this until I'm how old? I just want to be able to kick my feet back, relax, and maybe just be a wife, or maybe just stay home. Oh, they had it so good, and they have no idea. They have no idea. Look, if you go back to when the feminist movement first started, and even before, the balance between men and women was so, I would say it was even. I'd say it was even. The man goes to school. He pays for that. He works while he's going to school because they didn't have school loans back in the day. Maybe sometimes mom and dad helped out a little bit. But he goes off to school, and then he goes and gets a job, and he works all day long, and then he comes home, and the missus had to do the washing by hand. My grandmother had an old washing machine, but they didn't have a dryer back then, so she had to put it through, it looked like two rolling pins squeezed together by a spring, and she'd put it through this rolling mechanism and feed it through like it was dough, and it would wring the clothes out for her, and then she'd shake them out, she'd hang them on a line, air dry them, and then sometimes she'd iron a couple of shirts. And that was literally like an iron sitting on a stove, heating up, making sure it's the right temp, like old school. That was my grandparents. So my grandmother did a lot of work between that and cleaning and taking care of her kids and cooking the household meals. Flash forward to my mother. Automatic washing machine, automatic dryer, ovens with timers, microwaves. Things were a lot easier. Now you get to today, Dine and Dash, like you can just literally pick up a phone or pick up a web app, have food delivered for you. You can have dry cleaning services. Like, yes, it costs you money, but you can literally have everything done for you. So women complain today like it's still my grandmother's age in the 1900s where they have to do everything by hand. And instead, this is why I've said many times, you can just sit at home, ladies, and if you're become a good cook for your man, keep a clean house, sit around, watch TV, play video games. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? So here we have this article from Yahoo. This is just from yesterday. Working woman cries and asks why we fought for women to get jobs in the first place. I'm so tired. And she looks to be all of 19 years old. I love this zombified picture of, it's almost like okay, let me open this image in a new tab so we can do this in 3 parts. Okay, here's part number 1. Wait, I'm going to have to pay back all my school loans and work for myself and do my own laundry and earn money, and I'm going to have to do this till I'm at least 65. And then there's a reality sinking in. It's like a little movie for us. It's no secret that many of us would dream of earning a full-time salary without having to complete a strenuous day of work for 8 hours, 5 days a week. Even if most of us were not required to work and did not make the money we do at our jobs, it'd be nice to be able to kick our feet up and relax much more often than we can imagine in current times. I'm going to pause here and look. I think I'm going to guess. I did not check this ahead of time. I bet this is written by a woman. Megan Quinn. Okay, here's why I know that. Because any man that works and enjoys his job and makes a good living and enjoys what he does and works with people he likes, when he has a week or 2 off from vacation, he'll spend the first few days maybe fishing and getting some stuff done around the house and catches up on a couple of sports games. But your friends are busy working, so only on the weekends can you go out and do something. And what happens during the week? There's nothing on TV. I know I'm old school here saying this, but there's nothing on TV that you want to watch. What happens after a week or 2? You get bored. If you are worth your salt, you get bored. And so most of the time, men are going to go out there and either dive into a hobby, which you can't really do on vacation, or they're going to go back to work. But here, women think that it's ideal. I just lay around all day and do nothing and sip mimosas. People need to have a goal in life. One woman believes this lifestyle was once right at her fingertips before it was stripped away by women's rights activists in the 1900s. She reminds us that there was once a time when women were not allowed to work outside of their households, and admits that she is more suited for this life than the current one she's living in. Well, color me shocked, because again, it's easy to be a housewife today. Everything's automated. The wash, the drying, cooking's not that difficult. I cook for myself. I'm a pretty damn good cook. What's it take me at most to cook for one? An hour, if it's a very complex meal. How long does it take to cook for 2 people or 4 people? An hour. It doesn't get any longer. You just add more ingredients. Like many of us who work full-time, Tay is feeling burnt out and exhausted. She took to TikTok to express her frustrations and blames those who fought to allow women into the workforce. She said, whoever fought to get women jobs. Why? She's 22. Okay, she's 22. The tearful 22-year-old asks in a TikTok video that has been viewed nearly 6 million times. Why did we do that? I'm so tired. I just want to put my feet up. Tay reveals in the video's caption she is clearly at her breaking point, mentally and physically exhausted from work at 22 years old. Fellas, we weren't even getting started. Like, we are still thinking about what job we eventually want to do while we're working full-time and many of us part-time to get enough scratch to be able to buy a decent car. Someone had to say it. One TikToker user commented, they should have fought a little less hard. Another user noted of the women's rights movement. Who thought anyone should have to work? Well, see, that's the problem with young people. Everything should be free. And here's the thing they don't think about, right? Oh, healthcare should be free. Okay, who pays the doctors that do the work? Who pays for the nurses that do the work and go to school? Who pays them? Well, the government. Well, how does the government pay for services? Taxes. Well, where do they get their taxes from? You. Okay, don't you need money to pay taxes? Yes. So you need an income, right? Yes. How do you get that income? Working? Exactly. These young people have no idea how any monetary systems work, because they're not going to work for free, but they assume the people making all the things are for free, and the people mining the things work for free, and the people giving you the services are for free. Like, none of them know how this works. She says, we should all be sitting on the beach eating cheese and wine, another user hilariously shared. Okay, case in point, who's making that cheese? How do you get it? Who pays for it? Government just doesn't create free money. Other women noted the working full-time is especially difficult for them when they're expected to manage their households on top of their jobs. So are men. So are men. Who cleans my place if I'm a single man? Me? Have you seen some of these girls' bathrooms and their bedrooms when they take selfies? Their rooms are a wreck. I'm cleaner than most women I've ever dated. Just saying. And I'm not a neatnik, but what I do, like, you might come in and go, well, things are kind of chaotic, dude. They're strewn all over the place. Yes, they are, because I've got a lot of projects going on at the same time. But you know what they aren't? They aren't dirty. There's not like food and rotting things. It's just chaotic. But I know how to manage my chaos. The women are even worse. Their places are a mess. Other women noted that working full-time is especially difficult for them. Okay, I read that. Because now we have to work and do the house chores, one user pointed out. Well, welcome to what men have had to do, single men have had to do for all of time. We fought to do something other than cleaning the house, but tell me why I'm still doing it, another user wrote. While working full-time is undoubtedly difficult and draining at times, the rights women have gained in the process are worth it. Sure, go for it. They say it's important to acknowledge women were once forbidden from having the financial independence, blah, blah, blah. In fact, women in the U.S. were expected to remain at home managing the household and family while their spouses went to work until the 70s. Yeah, and it was a good deal. Additionally, the National Organization for Women, NOW, formed and urged President Lyndon Johnson to uphold the promises in Title VII for equal employment opportunities for women. Women's rights advocates had to continuously fight for equality. Well, now you're here. They say they were considered property by ownerships of their husbands and fathers. Well, you're here now. And here's the thing. You may say, well, it was bad when they were considered owned by the husband or fathers. Because, what if they were bad men? What if it could have been like, indentured servitude? Like, I can see why women, but the problem is women, once they had that freedom, they can go get their degree. But the problem is then they have the school bills, and then they want to date the football players and sleep with the football. And all of a sudden, you've got women mid-30s that are now coming to realization, hey, this kind of sucks. Now, you can date somebody who's gotten a degree and maybe has a little bit of school loans left, and she's doing her own job, and she's having a good time, and she enjoys what she does, but she's still young enough to realize, hey, this isn't for me forever, or I just want to do this part-time and be a full-time mom or stay at home. The thing is, this was to give women options. But somewhere along the line, they felt they have to replace men and show that they're better than men. And when they can't show that they're better than men, what do? They put men down. They lower men. They insult men. They call men bad guys. And well, here you are. Even in today's workforce, women still earn, no, they're going to go into the wage gap. That's wrong. That's BS. That's been broken down so many times. I'm not even going to entertain reading it. Let's see what else they have. Is there anything else worth anything? Probably not. No, they start getting into the feminist crap. And then it becomes a speech that's men bad. How typical. Well, congratulations. You got what you wanted, young lass. Now, she's young. She's 22. If she doesn't have a ton of school loans, she can find herself a dude who will probably be happy to wife her up if she doesn't have the body count, but she has black fingernail polish on, which, let's be honest, if she has no tattoos, it doesn't look like she has any facial piercings. If black nail polish is the only thing she's got, that's no problem. I know plenty of girls back when I was in high school that wore black fingernail polish, and now they're moms of 3, and they lead the soccer club at school. You know what I mean? So if that's the worst thing she's got going for it, she's 22. No, she's not a great looker. She can find a guy that makes a decent income. He'll treat her probably like a woman that he loves over the top, and there's a great chance. But the problem is, again, most of these women, when they get out into the real world, they'll find a guy or plenty of guys that want to sleep with them, and these girls put on all the makeup and go clubbing. They feel like they're beautiful, and then they fall into the trap of all the other women. She has a chance. If she really feels like this, she still has a chance. We'll see, though. We'll see, because the next video I'm going to be putting out at the same time or right after this is now older women that have made all the mistakes. So she probably hasn't made the mistakes. She has a chance. Now these older women, they've made the mistakes, and now they want to pretend like, tee-hee, let's wipe the slate clean. And because this one says, point of view, me when I realized all the conservative, crunchy ladies were actually right about everything. But people are calling her out because she was an OnlyFools content creator. And now it's all of a sudden, oh, I'm super trad. I just want to wear clothes from the 1960s and squeeze out babies and cook dinner for my man. No one's fallen for that one, but they're going to try. They're going to try. We'll get into that in the next video. Guys, if you're here on YouTube, make sure to join us over on betterbachelor.locals.com. I got a little bit of a pledge drive. I'd like to get some more supporters over there, so if YouTube nukes me, I won't have any problems. So please, and great forums, great community, lots of great people over there. Come over and join us today. I'd really appreciate it if you did, and we'll see you in the next one.